The EV sector in China is already by far the largest in the world, and it is transforming the whole car industry here. Chinese domestic companies are now outselling their international rivals.
The race is over. China takes over as the world's largest car exporter. Hello, and welcome back to E0, where we talk about the latest trends and developments in the automotive industry. In today's video, we're looking at how China has now taken over as the world's largest car exporter, surpassing Japan in the first quarter of 2023. We'll cover the entire buildup with facts and numbers, so buckle up and let's get started. China has been the world's largest car market since 2009, when it overtook the US in terms of new vehicle sales. But until recently, it was not a major player in the global car export scene. Most of the cars produced in China were sold domestically, while the top exporters were Japan, Germany, and the US. However, things have changed dramatically in the past few years, as China has ramped up its production capacity, improved its quality standards, and diversified its product portfolio. China has also benefited from the growing demand for electric vehicles, EVs, and the geopolitical situation in Russia. According to official figures released by the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, CAAM, China exported 3.11 million vehicles in 2022, up 54.4% year-on-year. This was enough to overtake Germany, which exported 2.6 million vehicles in 2022, and become the world's second-largest car exporter. In the first quarter of 2023, China exported 1.07 million vehicles, up 58% compared to the same period in 2022. This was more than Japan, which exported 954,185 vehicles in the same period, up 6% from a year earlier. This means that China has now become the world's largest car exporter for the first time in history. So, how did China achieve this remarkable feat? Well, there are several factors that contributed to this success story. Let's take a look at some of them. Factor 1. Electric vehicles. One of the major drivers of China's car export growth is the booming demand for electric vehicles, especially in Europe and Asia. China is the world's largest producer and market for EVs, with more than 40% of global EV sales in 2022. China has also invested heavily in developing its EV industry, with supportive policies, subsidies, infrastructure, and innovation. China has more than 400 EV manufacturers, including domestic brands like BYD, NIO, Xpeng, Li Auto, and Geely, as well as foreign brands like Tesla, Volkswagen, and Toyota. China's EV exports have grown rapidly in recent years, reaching 1.05 million units in 2022, up 90% from 2021. In the first quarter of 2023, China exported 300,000 EVs, up 90% from a year earlier. The main destinations for Chinese EVs are Belgium, Australia, Thailand, Japan, and Europe. Some of the most popular models are Tesla Model 3, SAIC MG ZS EV, BYD Tang EV, and NIO ES6. China has a competitive edge in the EV market for several reasons. First of all, it has a lower production cost than other countries, thanks to its economies of scale, supply chain integration, and labor efficiency. Second of all, it has a higher quality standard than before, thanks to its technological advancement, quality control measures, and customer feedback mechanisms. Third of all, it has a more diverse product range than before, thanks to its innovation capabilities, market segmentation strategies, and customization options. Factor 2. Russia. Another factor that boosted China's car export growth is the geopolitical situation in Russia. Since 2014, Russia has been under economic sanctions from Western countries due to its involvement in the Ukraine crisis. This has affected its trade relations with major car exporters like Japan, Germany, and the US. As a result, Russia has turned to China as an alternative source of car imports. China has seized this opportunity and increased its car exports to Russia significantly in recent years. In 2022, China exported 1.02 million vehicles to Russia, up 120% from 2021. In the first quarter of 2023, China exported 300,000 vehicles to Russia, up 150% from a year earlier. The main models are Geely Atlas Pro, Chery Tiggo 8 Plus, Great Wall Haval H6, and SAIC MG HS. China has a competitive edge in the Russian market for several reasons. First of all, it has a lower price than other countries, thanks to its lower production cost, lower tariff barriers, and lower lower transportation cost. Second of all, it has a higher adaptability than other countries, thanks to its localization efforts, market research, and customer service. Third of all, it has a higher reliability than other countries, thanks to its warranty policies, after-sales support, and spare parts availability. Factor 3. Global market recovery. A third factor that contributed to China's car export growth is the recovery of the global car market from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which increased the demand for new vehicles in many countries. The pandemic had a severe effect on the global car industry in 2020, causing a sharp decline in production, sales, and exports. However, as the situation improved in 2021 and 2022, the global car market rebounded strongly, driven by pent-up demand, stimulus measures, and vaccination programs. According to the International Organization of Motor Vehicle Manufacturers, OICA, global car production increased by 16% in 2021 and 9% in 2022, reaching 78.9 million units. Global car sales increased by 14% in 2021 and 7% in 2022, reaching 77.6 million units. Global car exports increased by 18% in 2021 and 12% in 2022, reaching 23.4 million units. China benefited from this global market recovery as it increased its car exports to many regions and countries. Some of the main markets for Chinese car exports are Europe, Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. China also increased its market share in these regions and countries as it offered competitive products at attractive prices. Factor 4. Overseas production plants. A fourth factor that boosted China's car export growth is the expansion of its overseas production plants, which increased its local presence and market share in many regions. China has been investing in building and operating overseas production plants for several years as part of its strategy to increase its global footprint and reduce its dependence on domestic sales. Overseas production plants can help China lower its production cost, avoid tariff barriers, meet local regulations, and cater to local preferences. According to CAAM, China had 29 overseas production plants in 19 countries by the end of 2022. These plants produced a total of 1.5 million vehicles in 2022, up 50% from 2021. These vehicles accounted for about half of China's total car exports in 2022. Some of the main countries where China has overseas production plants are Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brazil, Russia, Iran, Algeria, and Egypt. China plans to further expand its overseas production capacity in the future as it aims to increase its global market share and competitiveness. Some of the new projects that China is working on include plants in Turkey, Serbia, Mexico, and India. Factor 5. Export destination diversification. A fifth factor that enhanced China's car export growth is the diversification of its export destinations, which increased its exposure and penetration in different markets. China has been exploring new markets for its car exports for several years as part of its strategy to reduce its reliance on traditional markets and tap into new opportunities. Diversifying export destinations can help China hedge against market risks, balance supply and demand, and increase customer base. According to CAAM, China exported cars to more than 200 countries and regions in 2022. The top 10 export destinations were Russia, 1.02 million units, Belgium, 0.35 million units, Australia, 0.25 million units, Thailand, 0.24 million units, Chile, 0.22 million units, Saudi Arabia, 0.21 million units, Germany, 0.19 million units, Iran, 0.18 million units, France, 0.17 million units, and Algeria, 0.16 million units. These destinations accounted for about 80% of China's top car exports in 2022. China plans to further diversify its export destinations in the future as it seeks to enter new markets and regions with high potential and demand. Some of the new markets that China is targeting include India, Africa, Latin America, and Central Asia. Factor 6. Brand image and reputation improvement. A sixth factor that supported China's car export growth is the improvement of its brand image and reputation in the global market. China has been working hard to overcome the negative stereotypes and perceptions that have plagued its car industry for a long time, such as low quality, poor safety, lack of innovation, and copycat design. China has made significant progress in enhancing its brand image and reputation, thanks to its efforts in improving its product quality, safety, design, technology, and service. According to a survey conducted by Ipsos in 2022, China's car brand image score increased by 12 points from 2018 to 2022, reaching 62 points out of 100. This was higher than the global average of 60 points, and higher than some of the traditional car exporters like Germany, 61 points, Japan, 59 points, and the US 58 points. The survey also found that China's car brand reputation score increased by 13 points from 2018 to 2022, reaching 64 points out of 100. This was higher than the global average of 62 points, and higher than some of the traditional car exporters like Germany 63 points, Japan 61 points, and the US 60 points. China's brand image and reputation improvement has helped it increase its customer loyalty and satisfaction in the global market. According to a report by J.D. Power in 2022, China's Car Customer Satisfaction Index (CSI) increased by 15 points from 2018 to 2022, reaching 789 points out of 1,000. This was higher than the global average of 782 points, and higher than some of the traditional car exporters like Germany 787 points, Japan 785 points, and the US 783 points. Our 2 cents. China taking over as the world's largest car exporter is a remarkable achievement that reflects the country's rapid development and transformation in the automotive industry. China is expected to maintain its leading position in the future as it continues to innovate, improve, and diversify its car export offerings. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what's your favorite Chinese car at the moment. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Take care.